The New York Post. Man-keeping is ruining dating for women who are tired of relationship burnout. I'm not your therapist. Turns out the real reason she's not texting back might be because you treated her like your shrink. Okay. Well, women don't want a man who is needy at all. They want a man to have all of his needs met, and then you show up and wreck her. You are the mysterious stranger, the dominate king type man who just is off doing his thing, and then suddenly appears, and she falls for you, and then she is accepted into your harem, and she has your babies, but she doesn't have to do anything with you other than getting wrecked. That's it. So chivalry is dead, and women killed it. Romance is dead, and women killed it. Men want to be all loving and affectionate, and women don't want that. That's too much work. That's too much emotional labor. How dare men ask the table to engage in any kind of emotional labor? What's wrong with them? A recent study from Stanford has officially named the emotional labor sucking the life out of straight women man-keeping, and is driving them straight out of the dating pool. The term refers to the exhausting, unpaid gig of managing men's moods, stress, and social lives, all while trying to keep their own mental health afloat. Correct. Women cannot really keep their mental health afloat. So you don't go to women with your emotional problems. That's just not what you do, men. Now, if you like my content here, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. In fact, I ask you with greater emphasis to like and comment, because YouTube is cracking down on what counts as a view. You can dislike my video. That would count as a view. You can like it. You can comment. Those all count as views. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you want to just give your money to, give the advertising money to YouTube, then don't interact with my video. If you want to give some to me, interact with my video. Back to the article. From decoding their parents' emotional constipation to playing middleman with his buddies, women are being cast as live-in therapists, social secretaries, and emotional scaffolding. And they're over it. Okay, ladies, I have the solution for you. Are you ready? If there's any ladies watching this, which I doubt there is, but here's the solution. On your knees whenever he wants, whenever he needs it. He will not have a care in the world at that point. In the U.S., about 1 in 5 men claim they have no close friends, said Stanford postdoctoral fellow and developmental psychologist Angelica Puzio during a talk, In comparison to women's social networks, men's social networks in the US and UK tend to be thinner in depth, less frequent in emotional disclosure, and more rarely relied on for support. Basically, he has no one else to talk to, so he trauma dumps on you. Ferrara argues this male loneliness epidemic isn't just a him problem, it's a her burden. And it's pushing women to hit pause on relationships altogether. They actually did it. Men have emotional problems, women most affected. They did it. No matter what it is that men are going through, women most affected. Always. Always the case. Freaking idiots. These feminist losers just need to stop, period. According to Pew Research, just 38% of single women are actively seeking love, compared to 61% of men. Right. Women don't want to be burdened. I ran into this when I was in college. There was this cute girl that when I transferred to the college in Georgia, the first class I had, it was a drawing class, and there was this cute girl in that class. Perfect, exactly what I'm looking for. Well, maybe not exactly. She could have been maybe a little bit shorter. She was about 5'3", I think. She could have probably been like 5'1", would have been better for me. But she had a great figure, great face, nice hair. And she had a good personality too, but she was all about, I don't want to be bothered by a man. There's so much trouble. I don't want to be touched, blah, 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 all this stuff. So it's like, well, I can't be with you. I mean, I had a girlfriend anyway, so it didn't matter. But it's like, what do you offer then? I'm sure she's probably married now. Who knows? Yeah, it's like women don't want to have any kind of burden. They just want to be free to do whatever it is they want to do, float through life, and have everything given to them for free. No accountability, no demands put on them. How dare you expect something of a woman? She's the table. The math adds up to one thing. Women are opting out of being therapists with benefits. This is the labor that women take on to shore up losses in men's social networks and reduce the burden of his isolation on families, on the heterosexual bond itself, and on men. I don't get that. Hold on a second. This is the labor that women take on to shore up losses in men's social networks and reduce the burden of his isolation on families, on the heterosexual bond itself, and on men. Okay, I don't understand what they're talking about there. I get some of it, but I'm like, they're taking this labor to shore up to reduce the burden on the heterosexual marriage, on the heterosexual bond? Whatever. The barriers that men are facing in their relationships have a potential to expand women's labor on men's behalf. In other words, it's not just one needy boyfriend, it's a system. Right, ladies? So if you stopped being a burden on civilization, in other words, stopped working and decided to focus on family, this would not be a burden for you. You would have plenty of emotional bandwidth to take on a man's burdens if he had any that he needed to bring to you. Men, if you're going to be in a relationship with a woman, avoid bringing your emotional issues to her. Women don't want to hear it. This was played out nicely in an episode of Friends. The one, was one of them where Bruce Willis was dating Rachel.
Ah, no more crying. Please, I just dumped one crybaby. I'll dump you too.
But yeah, you don't want to burden a woman with your emotional distress because it makes you seem weak. She's the one who has the emotional distress that she needs to bring to you. Now, in a long-term relationship, from what I've seen, you can bring some of your emotional distress, some, not a lot, but some of your emotional distress to a woman. If it's stuff that's, especially if it's stuff that's going to affect both of you. Then you'd be like, yeah, I'm scared too, or whatever. Yeah. I mean, this doesn't work for me either, but this is the way that it is. But you don't want to like turn to a blubbering ball of, I need you to support me emotionally. Ferrara dubs this draining duty man-keeping, likening it to kin-keeping, the thankless job of maintaining family bonds, which also mysteriously ends up in women's laps. Men never do that at all. And the root of it all, stunted male friendships and toxic masculinity. Well, yeah, that's the blame for everything, Ferrara says that naming this invisible labor is a first step toward equity. Recognizing and naming this form of gendered labor may be important for making women's emotional work more visible and hopefully more equal, she stressed. Until then, more and more women are swiping left on man-keeping. Another possible solution, men could be calling their buddies more often. As the Post previously reported, some say it's just a wholesome fad. Others are calling it a remedy for the male loneliness epidemic. This is a surprisingly sweet new trend. Bros, mostly Gen Z, but not exclusively, are picking up the phone and dialing their dudes just to say goodnight. No, they're not. This is not happening. And the waterworks are flowing. Sure they are. One viral TikTok with over 3 million views shows a user filming her husband ringing up a pal. Hi, what's up, man? I'm about to go to bed and I'm just calling you to tell you goodnight, he says, without a hint of irony. Cue the collective swoon. His friend, caught off guard, replies, why? Are you thinking of me for real? Men did not do this except as satire. This was done as a satirical skit. Men don't do this. If some guy called me up and said, hey man, I just want to say goodnight, I'm like, well, dude, don't even talk to me ever again. Women don't even like it when you do this to them. You say goodnight, cute girl, to a girl you're dating, she's not going to want to date you. All these girls crying about, oh, men don't text me in the morning when they get up. Oh, men don't text me goodnight. Yeah. You know why? Because you don't like it. I like it if a girl does that to me, but I don't want a man doing it to me. After the man sweetly says he loves him, the surprised pal answers, God damn, I love you too. I don't know what to say. You caught me off guard. Yeah, it's definitely fake. That was his response. Men wouldn't act like that, baby. What the hell's up with you, man? Why are you calling me and telling me you love me, dude? Seriously. Viewers were all in, and one commented, in all seriousness, this is how you fight the male loneliness epidemic. Just be friends with each other. All right, so we got some comments here. It's a pretty short article. And the root of it all, stunted male friendships and toxic masculinity. The stunted male friendships happens. The toxic masculinity isn't much of a thing at all. The truth is that men need to be more in tune with actually being men, not feeling ashamed of being one. Yep. Pearl Girl says, if you really care about someone, you listen. That goes for men and women. Yeah, that's true. Like, if you truly are in this with your husband, you should be listening to his emotional baggage. You should. But unfortunately, that's not how women work. So we've messed up the dating and marriage market in this country. But Leo Gatto says, at first I tell you, you are too masculine and toxic. They want you to be sensitive, which means more like women. Now they hate sensitive men and want you to be a rock for them. Any man who changes himself to fit a crazy woman gets what he deserves. Yep, you couldn't say it better myself. They want you to be sensitive towards them. In other words, they don't want to hear about your problems. They want you to hear about theirs. Yep, that's correct. Yeah, you're supposed to be her rock, so she can be emotionally just chaos, and she can always come back to you for that stability and go, okay, and everything's gonna be fine because I got this man here who's holding my world together. It's 045 need to be left to their own devices. Yep. I remember when it was how much men don't communicate enough. Yep. They're just flip-flopping around because, hey, MAGA King, we got to see the MAGA King. What does he have to say? Women should embrace this new role. After all, they are more nurturing. This will be a win-win for all. Yeah, they should. Jean says, nah, energy-draining vampires come in both sexes. Yep. This guy says, written by a woman. Enough said. Yep. And then Joe Spivey says, kettle, dot, 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 pot. And 0.0 says, you women are just superheroes nowadays, at least in their own minds. Yeah, they can do no wrong. Anyway, I just want to go over that article because, of course, this is some garbage from Marissa Matozzo, who doesn't know what she's talking about. It's from late June. Wow. It's almost 2 months old. But I saw it the other day and thought that I would talk about it. Again, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.